So who actually qualifies for a VA loan? Okay, this is a tricky question, one that gets misunderstood quite a bit. Now, if you go to military.com, they're going to say, while some types of VA loan refinancing won't use your credit score, for your initial VA loan, most lending institutions will use a benchmark of some kind. On average, the number is around 620. Now, how many times have you heard 620? Have you heard 580? I'd love to know in the comments below, what have you heard as far as what credit score you need in order to qualify for a VA loan? Well, let me tell you, the VA has zero, and I mean zero, credit score requirements. The requirement is actually coming from the lender. Depending on what lender you use, they will have what is called essentially an overlay. It's their requirement, it's not the VA. The VA does not require you to have a credit score. Now, with that being said, you don't want to have crappy credit just for the hell of it, all right? You still want to take care of your credit because it not only affects your loan, your interest rates, and so many other things. It's just going to impact your overall life. Now, if you don't have a 620, or if you don't have a 580, say you got a 550 or 520 or 480, my company, we can actually do these loans, all right? There has to be some other things in place, but just understand the VA has no credit score requirement whatsoever. It's the lender that has the requirement. The most important thing initially is going to be the COE, or the Certificate of Eligibility. This is not a difficult thing to get. Typically, a lender can get it for you. It doesn't take much for a lender to get a Certificate of Eligibility. Why do we need that? We need to know that you were honorably discharged from the military, because if you weren't, you may not qualify. You need to be honorably discharged from the military. If you've used your VA loan before in the past, we need to know that you have all your eligibility back. And because if you have a VA loan and you are now trying to purchase another home using a VA loan, which is possible, but we have to know how much of your eligibility has actually been used before we can move forward with the next home to know that you have full eligibility left, or a partial, or whatever the case may be. Well, according to the VA, you still may be eligible for the COE if you were discharged for one of these reasons, okay? Number one, hardship. Number two, the convenience of the government. So you must have served at least 20 months of a 2-year enlistment, okay? So sometimes the government, for whatever reason, decide to just let people go. Early out, so you must have served 21 months, again, of a 2-year enlistment. Reduction in force, okay, or certain medical conditions. A service-connected disability is another reason that you may still be eligible for that VA loan. So I will encourage you, again, find an expert, guys. Every lender is not an expert. Most lenders will say, hey, we do VA loans. Everybody is not an expert in a VA loan. And I've seen situations, I had a client that came to me after being denied by another lender. Now, there was a 6 to 8 month gap between the time they got the initial denial and then the time they came to me. But they were denied. You know why? Because the lender didn't order the COE when they first started the process. You don't have to get it at the beginning. It makes no sense not to. And guess what? The lender didn't get it. So you know what they found out after they got the COE? That the buyer did not have their full entitlement because the buyer didn't let them know, hey, my VA loan, part of it is still tied up in a rental property that I bought in another state. That didn't come up. So make sure you have an expert lender who understands VA loans specifically, and you are in good hands. Now, that is not all the information you need, all right? I need you to go take a look at this next video because that's going to get you more educated and understand better how the VA loans work and what you need to be successful. So go check that video out. I'm James J. I'll see you over there.